Let's make sex a normal conversation. Sex is something that a lot of people are too embarrassed to talk about openly, and especially with family, I see a lot. And this guy here is called Sia. He's absolutely amazing. He's a sex coach. So Sia teaches all sorts of really, really cool stuff, and today he's going to be sharing with us some amazing things around sex. But before we get started, before I get started, I just want to warn you guys, this is uncensored, okay? So if you are a small child and you don't want to hear about sex, do not listen. Or maybe if you're on a bus, put your headphones in or something, if you're shy about it. But sing it out loud and proud, let everybody know. So, Sia, what does sex mean to you?
Hello everyone, I'm Sia, and sex for me means actually has many different meanings. The first meaning for me is intimacy and closeness.
Nice.
And sharing.
Look at the camera. Show them your beautiful face.
Yeah. Oh, there's the camera here.
Yeah.
Okay. So basically sex for me means closeness, intimacy, and sharing each other's body and energy. Yeah. And having a lot of fun and experiencing a lot of pleasure.
Yeah.
So basically I think the main purpose of sex is pleasure.
For me, the first 27 years of my life, I had no idea that there was more to sex than just the physical side of it.
Yes.
Like for me, sex was about how many times I could make a girl orgasm. That was it. And then once I'd made her orgasm enough times, then I would let myself come. And that was it. And that was what I did all through university, all through my teenage years, was just sleeping with girls purely to ejaculate and experience that.
Yes.
And then I started meeting all these crazy weird people who were talking about this thing called Tantra.
Yes.
And we're going to share some stuff with you around Tantra and what that is. But I remember the first time I heard about it was on a film called American Pie. And there's a film called American Pie, and there's a guy called Stifler, and his mum, his mum is the one that his friend Finch wants to have sex with. But she's obviously a lot more experienced than him. He's a teenage kid, so he starts learning this thing called Tantra, and he basically becomes like a monk. And that was my perception of it. And
people have a lot of people have many different ideas about when it comes down to Tantra, but we're gonna get to that later anyway. But based on what you said, a lot of people think, especially a lot of men, I think it's actually good. What I explain is people have this path of evolution on sexuality. The first stage of most men is basically there are these men that just want to fuck just to take. They just want to fuck and ejaculate and just want to use girls to add another score on their list.
Yeah.
That I this number and I had this, I did this and I did that. So it's all about what they take out of this experience.
Yeah.
And then when they become a bit more conscious and they become more understanding of, okay, no, there is more into sex and is more into me just taking for maybe 5 minutes or 10 minutes or whatever length of time they take, is for me to be able to give. So they go to the next phase of the sexual evolution, which is the giving. And the giving is much better than just constantly taking, because now they give, the woman is happy, they are happy, and it's fun. But again, what you said was as like a performance based. Yeah. Sex becomes this struggle that I have to just give. The more orgasm I give, the better lover I am, and the more I can make a girl come, I'm so much more proud of myself. And it's not bad. It's good, but
I used to boast a lot.
Yeah,
I used to boast a lot because
it becomes like an ego.
Yeah,
ego sex, and
sex was something I invested a lot of time in to get good at, because in my friends' circle, it was very much that competitive, very guy, like I was a rugby lad at school, did MMA, cage fighting, and it was very testosterone kind of thing. So when you could brag about how many orgasms you gave your girlfriend or a random girl you pulled on a night out, it was good and you got a lot of attention for it.
Yeah.
But
I've been there. Don't worry.
But
I've been there. We all have been there.
But after you leave university and you become more of an adult, that becomes less and less and less important. And then for me, it got to the point where I didn't even enjoy sex anymore because it was meaningless to me. It was totally empty. Like the physical, just fucking someone. She could be the hottest girl in the whole world, but there's just nothing in it. There's no, and I didn't know this at the time, but what I was looking for was intimacy. Yes. And I thought the way to get intimacy was by having sex with people.
No, you can have sex with someone and not be intimate at all, and you can be intimate with someone and not have sex. This is one of the things that people always don't understand or mix up. Is that for me to feel that closeness, I need to have sex. But as long as sex is just stays on a physical level, there is basically no intimacy, and that's one of the things that a lot of people go one man or one woman after another man or another woman, and they keep going this vicious cycle of trying to find this closeness, trying to find this intimacy, but they find nothing, because first of all, to be able to find intimacy, you have to start within yourself. This is a lot of people don't just find it externally, but intimacy comes internally. That when you allow yourself, I think we're gonna get into intimacy after this anyway. But
yeah. Let us know your questions, by the way. If you've got any questions around sex, intimacy, anything, just comment. Let us know. I know you have to be brave because other people can see your comments. So it's a really interesting thing, isn't it?
Yeah.
Because I know when I post controversial posts, people are scared to even like it. So let's see if you're brave, if you love sex and you're happy to like this post.
This is very interesting. Like when it comes to the concept of sex,
yes, we got our first love. One brave person. You rock.
This is very interesting. Like I have in my book actually, which is called 7 Principles to Master the Art of Sex. We will launch it next month, and I explain that if for most of us, accepting the fact that we are sexual beings is a huge thing. Like we all love sex, we all want to have sex, but none of us want to admit the fact that we actually enjoy having sex. Because sex for us, we've been living in a very sexually condemned societies, and our religions has been constantly giving us so much shit when it comes to sexuality. So it's like the biggest sin for us, and because of this, sex for us has turned into a very taboo subject. And as much as we love it, we can accept it and always be carrying this inner conflict. And as long as any of you out there carrying this inner conflict, that on one side you want to be sexual and the other side you're ashamed and worried about expressing your sexuality, or guilty of expressing your sexuality, your sex life is not going to enhance, it's not going to transform, because you always have to be okay with the fact. Imagine you're a teacher and you're ashamed of being a teacher. Do you think you're going to be a good teacher? Of course not. Anything you do in your life, if you're not proud of it, if you're not fully accepting and embracing the fact that you're doing this, then subconsciously you're not going to be able to enjoy it. And especially when it comes down to sex, because I don't want to be known as this person who has sex. I don't have sex. I don't have that. Ooh.
Especially for girls, there's a lot of shame around it. You know, you get called a slut. Yeah. You know, but if you're a guy who sleeps around, you get called a stud. Right? Very different things. But for both, especially when you become older, a lot of people are very guilty and ashamed of their sexual preferences, especially if they have any sexual preferences that are outside the normal missionary position, maybe doggy style. Anything other than that is a bit too taboo, and you don't really hear people talking about it a lot.
No, because first of all, we either have these two extremes of I call them the porn fuckers, and people who are just like have sex like Saint Mary. They always stay virgin. And but I think we have some question.
Yeah, you keep talking, bro. I'm going to read the question.
Okay. And the thing is, and ultimately it comes down to our societies, and it comes down to our mindset towards men and women. We have been living in a male-dominant society for thousands of years, that men's sexuality is something to be proud of and women's sexuality is something to be ashamed of.
Yeah.
It's exactly the same thing. And unless we as a society and we as people truly understand this concept that men and women are totally equal beings, My sexuality is completely equal as women's sexuality, and we're all just equal, but just different, but equal. And unless we truly understand this concept, our sexuality is also not going to change.
And that was a big thing for me, a really big thing for me. And I'm just going to address Paul's comment and then I'll come back to it. Paul says, sex can be confusing for people once they go beyond it. Intimacy and energy are way beyond the physical. So it can feel very strange when you find more intimacy from sex when you already felt it energetically. Yeah, Paul, 100%. Most people like having sex, but they're scared of intimacy, like true intimacy.
Because the reason for that is for people to become intimate, you need two things. One, you need to be able to express who you are, and then you be able to fully take all the walls down, to just have no shame of who you are and have no walls. Basically, have to just be fully naked and express who you are, and that's the easier part. For a lot of people, the hardest part, actually the thing is the hardest for them to express themselves, but the hardest part for people is to accept the other person when he or she expresses himself or herself.
Yeah.
I can be like, hey, look at me, this is me, I'm fully naked, but am I willing to receive your nakedness? Am I willing to receive your authentic self? That's a different story. Because it's easy for us like, it's me. But true intimacy comes when you are willing to receive and you're willing to give fully.
Nice.
This is my definition of intimacy.
Does everyone agree with us? Do you dare to comment on a thread about sex? Do you dare to give us some love hearts so everyone knows that you're not ashamed to talk about sex? Really, really interesting. This is one of my least liked videos so far. You brought up something really, really important earlier, and I'm going to do a total vulnerability share here. Me and my girlfriend, we call these brain dumps, okay? So in order for people to be intimate, you can't judge them when they share things with you. So I'm going to share something with you now that you could definitely judge me for.
No judgment. But you can anyway.
The way I was brought up was in a very masculine friend zone. And where I'm from, people have very little respect for women. And that includes women. They have very little respect for themselves. Teenage pregnancies where I'm from are just ridiculous, like STIs, all that kind of stuff, huge. Everyone just sleeps with everyone, and it's crazy. And for me, without strong masculine role models to show me how to respect women, I didn't. And it was only quite recently, like talking a few years ago, where I really understood respect for women. And since then, my sex has totally changed, because before that, I just used women mainly for sex, and it was for my own pleasure. Even giving them orgasms was for my own ego. Does that make sense?
Yes. Oh, I've been there. I think again, that's as I said before, it's a path of evolution. It's we want to be this perfect being, but you have to walk the steps, and then it's good. As I said, at the beginning, people just like 100% just for themselves. Then it becomes all then we become aware. Okay, no, actually I can give. So I give, but at the same time I feel good about giving. But it just becomes a game. But again, at the same time now, I explain to people, I tell my clients that it's okay to feel good. But it's not all about you, it's all about the both of you. It's about the joint experience, it's about the shared journey that you guys share basically. And I give, I receive, she gives, she receives. It becomes like a dance. But in a dance, it's not, again, I'm actually my book, there was a principle called selflessly selfish, which I'm actually editing today. I was editing it today, and
nice.
It's very
everyone gets Sia's book when it comes out. He's got amazing video courses all around the art of teasing, how to be a better lover, all these kind of things. Really, really cool. But yeah, carry on.
And I explain in this chapter that a lot of people, they're either selfish, that they just want to take, or they become overly selfless, just want to give. You want to give and give and give and give and give, and this giving is much more better than just taking and being selfish. But at the same time, you want to, as Buddha said, you want to choose the middle path or the middle way, which you have one leg in selfishness and one leg in selflessness. So you are selfless. You give and you want to pleasure your lover, but at the same time, you want to be able to receive. And you want to.
This is
we
my
have
girlfriend.
An intruder. Hello. And so you want to be able to, because if you just give and you have no benefit or no desire in giving and you're not taking any pleasure in, then you feel like a slave. And this is not what you want to do. You want to give, and at the same time you want to be able to receive. So it becomes like a game of giving and receiving constantly, giving and receiving, giving and receiving.
Nice. We've got loads of love hearts for that. Loads of love hearts. Eugenia says, I love the fully naked part and totally agree with receiving the other person naked. That's because you are awesome, Eugenia.
Yeah.
Ask any questions if you've got anything that you would like to know, anything you'd like to quiz us on. Paul, what can we do with harnessed sexual energy? Is sexual frustration useful? Your thoughts?
Well, one of the best ways to harness your sexual energy is to not leak it. A lot of men are constantly, again, it's all starts with the thought as well. It's not necessarily physical, it's thought as well. If you just, as a man, like a lot of men's sexual energy leaks constantly. My sexual energy used to leak insanely. And the thing is, starts from, again, mindset.
Let's just be super clear what it means by leaking your sexual energy, okay? So if you're masturbating all the time, if you're always spilling your seed, that's your sexual energy. You're just throwing it away instead of harnessing it and using it in a powerful way.
Yes. And that's one thing. That's one thing is actually you as a man, when you ejaculate, that's one of the ways that you lose your power. That's in Taoism that actually talk about it. And another thing is the mindset. If you're constantly walking on the street as a man and you're just like, women, tits, ass, and you're constantly just this energy is coming out of you. And
I've got a friend who almost gets whiplash every time a girl walks past. She's like,
yeah, and it's,
you know who you are.
And it is part of the people's journey, but they need to be. If you're a man that you constantly in this, I call it like when you put the floor hot and people just like started jumping, or because it's too hot, they're constantly fidgeting. Is you're losing energy and you're losing focus. This is it's not going to help you to concentrate on what you want to do. Women, again, as a man or as a woman, the opposite sex should not be the center of your life. And when you break through that, then you can harness your sex energy. And then when you want to channel it, again, doesn't mean you're not going to be horny. I'm plenty horny when it comes down to my intimate life, but I'm not confused or distracted by this fact that, women. And I personally went really deep into this world of seduction, just pick-up artistic, and then going and chasing women. I've been through all of that, but the moment I discovered this fact that as long as if I keep my energy, not only my seed, but my mental energy in, and let go of this desire to constantly, because the desire brings suffering.
Yeah, something that changed my game sexually, and this is what really helps as well with understanding that desire, is learning how to become present. Learning how to become aware of your feelings and what's going on inside your body, because a lot of people think, oh fuck, I feel horny, right, well I have to go have sex now. That's not the case. Like, you can feel, why am I feeling horny right now? Where is this sexual energy coming from? And you don't always have to automatically go and do whatever your body says. You're not a slave of your body. You're not a slave of your mind. You have to witness these things come up.
Yeah, it's very interesting what you just said, because today I was walking here, and because, you know, as a man, you walk and you see a girl, and just first thing is all happens on an automatic level.
Yeah,
you just see a girl's ass or see her teeth, and you're like, ugh, boom, and then what happens after that? As most men who are unconscious of whatever happens after that, it makes a huge difference. If you're unconscious, it becomes like, this is what I used to do whenever I used to go pick up and then just chase women on the street or in a club. I see something and there's suddenly this desire. I see an ass and I'm like, oh, look at that ass. It's really awesome if I just hold it, if I just could have it, or whatever that constant desire comes up. But then you realize, why do I want to have this? Why do I want to chase? Why do I want to have sex? What is this reason behind this desire? And that's the leaking part, because we're not conscious. It becomes on an automatic level. Boom, boom. You see this, I want it. I see this, I want it. I see this, I want it. But why do we want it? It's a different thing.
Yeah, and once you can become present, this will really help in your lovemaking as well, because a lot of people, when they're actually making love, they have a goal. They're trying to climax. They're trying to orgasm. They've got an intention to make their partner come. And when you're in that place, you're not present, and you can't really feel the full effects of what's happening sexually, because if I'm thinking, right, I need to make you come, I'm living in the future. I'm in my head. I'm not in my heart. I'm not feeling my full sexual energy, which flows from your sacral, which is around your groin area, to your heart. I'm not breathing that beautiful energy in because I'm too focused on, okay, I need to thrust in this way. I need to come at it from this angle. I need to make sure she's making the right noises.
Yes. Osho, one of my favorite love gurus in the world, he always says, when you make love, if two of you, basically, if it's only two of you making love, there is two bodies making love, and there is two consciousnesses, and they're witnessing. So basically there is an orgy, or is a foursome. It's you and her bodies making love, and there is your awareness and her awareness, which is aware of this situation. So it's basically four of you, two bodies and two awarenesses. And if you practice because I look at sex as a dynamic meditation.
Yeah.
As something that, because naturally the polarity between the men and women is in a way that even if people are super unconscious and they don't even know what presence is and what meditation is, when they have sex, they become very present. That's one of the reasons many people love sex, because it gives you an opportunity to just forget about life. Nobody thinks about their bills while they're having orgasm. Nobody thinks about the problems while they're having orgasm. We need to work on the lights. There we go. Lights are back. And so, the more people start detaching from this performance thing and become more aware and feeling, and the way to do it is you need to get into your body. You need to get into your body. You need to, I don't know if any of you have done Vipassana meditation before. It's like very similar to that. Instead of you looking for the sensation, you feel the sensation, and your lover is creating in your body, and you are creating on your own body. So if you're touching someone, if you have your awareness in your hands, as you touch, you can feel. She's feeling, if you're a man and you're touching a lover, she can feel your sensation. If you're receiving the touch, if you keep all your awareness in your body and on the sensation that are creating in your body, and if you're a man or if you're a giver and you're touching and you're having awareness on your touch, on the point of your contact, then that helps you so much more to be present on what you're doing in this moment instead of what I'm going to do next. And when you practice doing that, then you truly become a sex artist, because when you become present, you can become creative. And you become spontaneous. You will do things that you're like, oh my God, I have no idea. How did I even do this? And that's when sex becomes really fun.
And when you think about sex as a conscious meditation, rather than just a physical act, rather than just fucking to ejaculate, incredible things happen. Like, the best sex I've ever had is where you literally merge with the other person. Like, you don't know where your body starts and their body ends, and it's like you're not even bodies anymore. You're just two big balls of energy that come together. And whenever that happens, I always end up crying, because it's just so fucking beautiful. And it's like when you're in a really deep meditation, you feel that kind of bliss. It's the same thing. I just start crying, and that for me is when I know I've had an incredible intimate sex session, because you lose yourself.
Yes, it's all about that. It's all about losing and feeling that one, because the oneness is like you have to get rid of you and she has to get rid of her, and then you become one. So it's like you're coming out of your shelf and she's coming out of her shelf, and you just like merge. And that can be scary at the same time, but at the same time it's so beautiful. I think we have some questions.
We've got some questions. Our audience is getting quite rowdy in the corner as well, so it's exciting. They're loving our conversation. Do you believe we may feel the sexual energy of others we walk past empathetically? They want and crave looks so that what they receive via our interaction towards them. So it's just about controlling our urges. There may be more to all of it, empathetically, relatively, emphatically. So how do we work with this? Okay, so Paul's just basically asking, he understands what we're saying, he's wanting to know what the tips are. So, and Eugenia says, for sure being present is the key to amazing sexual experience. So, to wrap this up, Sia, if you were to give 3 main tips that could improve the people who's watching sex life, or just their attitude to sex, or anything, what would your 3 main things be?
There are so many, but
well, I'm going to do 3 too. So
okay.
you go.
The first thing I would say is to be aware, to be present, to meditate. Meditation is the key to any change, basically, and understand one thing. This is what I call lovemaking, which is my own brand, and make sure you guys check it out at luvmaking.com. And I define this website as lovemaking, and lovemaking is something that happens on 3 levels. So, best sex that you've ever had, and you're watching, and I've ever had, and you had. You might be conscious of it, or might be unconscious of it, but if you do look deep into it, you realize when you had an amazing sex was a time that you were connected on 3 interrelated levels, and they are on a physical level, an emotional level, and a mental level. So what that means you find your lover physically attractive, you find her emotionally attractive, and you find her mentally attractive, and you connect on all these 3 levels. If you just sleep with a person that they look good and you don't care about them, and they don't make you feel good, it's just like, it might be fun, but it's not highly satisfactory. But at the same time, if you're not physically attracted to someone, doesn't matter how good of a person you are, it's very hard for someone to have sex with them. Also, ultimately, if you don't like the content of their brain and who they are, you can enjoy your intimate time with them. So I believe the first thing is to find someone so you can be physically, emotionally, and mentally attracted and connected to. That's 1. And that's 2. 1 was to be aware. And 3 would be to just not be afraid to express yourself. Not be afraid to be vulnerable. Again, it's a very huge topic. We can talk about vulnerability for hours.
We will.
But vulnerability basically is to, if you hide something, if you're ashamed of expressing yourself, if you are scared to receive someone else in, again, your sex life is not gonna be extraordinary. So practice whatever you have to do, read, find a way to be vulnerable, to be expressive, to tell your truth and be honest and transparent. And life is too short to hide things, just let it all out.
Sia, you've got a fan. Eugenia says, who is your friend sharing with us today? I like him and what he says in more than one ways. Yeah. Sia's a beautiful, beautiful man. He's called Sia D on Facebook, S-I-A, and then his surname is D-I on Facebook. He's a sex coach, the founder of Lovemaking, L-U-V Making. If you search for that on Facebook, you'll find him too. We were having a chat a couple of days ago about maybe doing some workshops together. Just let us know if you'd be interested in that, by the way. Just comment below if you'd be interested in coming to like an intimacy workshop, or what would you want us to teach you in a workshop? What would you really want to get? I'm going to share my 3 things with you now. They're very different to Sia's 3 things. Okay, the first thing, if you want to have amazing sex, the first thing you need to do is you need to breathe. Breathing is so important during sex, and most people don't do it. It's important in every aspect of your life. Like whatever you want to improve in your life, my first answer usually is breathe. Take a deep breath in.
Can you actually breathe now? Maybe whoever's watching.
And out. Everyone take a deep breath in. And out.
Just in between. One of the things that I heard, I don't know if it's true or not, but it makes sense. One of the reasons people smoke is because they have an opportunity to have deep breath.
Yeah.
But if you can learn to do that on a regular basis, we don't even need to smoke.
Yeah, nice. So breathing, let me explain this for you, okay? When you breathe deeply into your abdomen, like how you're supposed to breathe down into your genitals, down into your sexual center. That releases this beautiful cycle of sexual energy. And babies do this. Babies breathe from their abdomen. And basically what that is, when they're breathing, they breathe right down deep. Just try it now. Breathe right down deep. Down into your genitals, right the way down. Connect with your lower energy centers.
Can I add a tip with the breathing?
Yeah.
So you guys know about the Kegel exercises? Mm-hmm. So your pelvic floor muscle. So a lot of people when they know how to squeeze it, but do you know how to expand it? Like exactly the same way that you squeeze, do the opposite as you kind of push it out. Yeah, it's like right before when you want to poo or pee. Yeah, you kind of push that muscle out, and when you breathe into your belly, and when your belly is fully expanded, see if you can just push that your PC muscle down and expand, so everything on your stomach goes out, and at the same time you push this one down, and what you're doing, you're internally massaging all your sex organs.
Yeah.
So make sure even when you during sex, if you're a man and you have difficulty having an erection, or you're about to come and you don't want to, if you just breathe deeply to your belly and then kind of relax your PC muscle first and then kind of push it out, and it would help a lot with you to activating the sexual energy and keep it in, being harder for longer and having a hard erection. Ooh.
Yeah, absolutely. And it is literally when you breathe, learn to enjoy your breath, because it's an internal massage, and it is massaging your sex center, and that's really, really powerful. So that's the first thing. And as well, when you're breathing during sex, it makes you super present.
Yes.
And it allows the energy to flow between you and your partner, especially if your partner breathes consciously as well. It's really, really beautiful.
Ooh, yeah.
That's the first thing. Second thing, be adventurous. Explore, discover, research, find things. There's so many great books and tools you can use. Tell them a great book or tool other than your program. Tell them how they can get your program.
I'm creating something called School of Lovemaking, and if you go to lovemaking.com, luvmaking.com, and school, there I have that's the Tantra Sex. I have that one.
This is called The Heart of Tantric Sex.
I can't believe you carry that.
Really, really amazing book. Really amazing book.
Yeah,
I love reading
yeah.
it on the tube, because people just start to see the word sex in big letters, and you get lots of people looking at you. But honestly, this is a really incredible book. It teaches you all sorts of cool things about using eye contact, your breath, how to relax, how to penetrate in all different ways. It's really, really powerful. Oh,
There's another one called Urban Tantra.
nice.
That's a really good one as well. And any of the Osho's books, the book's called Sex Matters. By Osho is very good, especially for mindset. How to understand how to become comfortable with your sexuality, and how to accept it as a natural human phenomenon, like sleeping and eating, instead of just thinking about sex as like, ugh.
Yeah. And so, research. Go pick this book up. Pick up a million other books. There's so many great ways. Go to a workshop.
Or wait for my book in mid-January. It will come up called 7 Principles to Master the Art of Sex.
Nice.
And yeah, it's on the last editing phase. It will come out. We're launching in mid-January.
Nice. And so the third and final tip that I'm going to give you, if you want to really step up your sex, and this is not one you're going to expect. When people think about Tantra, all they know is sex, but that's not what Tantra is. Tantra is understanding how your own energy works. Okay? That's what you need to do. Before you go trying to have incredible sex with other people, understand your own energy. Take some time to get to know what you like, what you don't like, what is true for you, what's not, what's your conditioning, what actually makes you feel good. Because once you know those things, you can then communicate them to your partner. Because if you go into a sexual relationship with someone and you don't know what you like, how can they give it to you? You need to understand what you want. So spend some time, meditate on it, figure out what really turns you on, what really excites you, and then communicate that with your partner, and instantly you're going to have much, much better sex.
Agreed. Very wise words.
Cool. Awesome.
Yeah.
Sexuality is something that's really a big part of my life right now. Connecting with my body physically,
Yes.
spiritually, definitely emotionally. It's really, really powerful. We had sex just a couple of nights ago and we were both crying our eyes out.
Yes, you were amazing, Luke.
It's my girlfriend.
Why?
And
You had sex with her too? Cheating on me now?
but really, once you can learn to bring in the emotional aspect of sex, incredible things happen. Oh, here's Mia.
Beautiful.
Here's Mia.
Soul here.
If you'd like to see a threesome with me, Sia and Mia, just comment below.
Boyfriend for sale. If anyone wants
Eugenia
it.
says, I love you guys, you're speaking my language. And Dave says, the smoking thing is very true. When I did smoke and masturbate, I'd have multiple orgasms in the last hours. After giving up smoking, now I come in minutes. Oh, interesting. Thank you for your honesty there. That's incredible honesty.
love it.
Did you
Definitely,
guys talk about dancing?
definitely breathing.
Five
When I do
rhythms.
smoke and masturbate, I would have multiple orgasms and last.
Definitely breathing is going to be amazing.
So,
but
I think
we're going to be working together anyway over the next month. So that's something we can absolutely just smash out
That's
of the
week
park.
1.
So what are we doing now, guys?
Now we're gonna go and dance. We're gonna do 5 rhythm. We're gonna shake our booty, and then have some fun.
We love
and-
going to this dancing workshop. It's a 2-hour dancing meditation called 5 Rhythms. It's really, really fun. And that's where we're all going to go now, and loads of our friends. So if you want to come with us to 5 Rhythms sometime, or you want to come to one of our workshops, again, just comment below. I'll let you know when the next one is. We'll be
We're gonna
going...
do a workshop on the art of teasing. That's what I
Yeah.
did in Sweden 3 weeks ago. On art of teasing and how to create intimacy and how to be dominant in sex.
Nice.
How to create this move towards feminine energy and be all sensual, and how to move to the more masculine energy and be all dominating and like rah, like that and passionate. So yeah.
Nice.
Did you guys talk about what intimacy means to you guys?
We talked a lot about a lot of things. What does intimacy mean to you?
Yeah.
Oh, you love my definition, don't you? So I always say that for me, intimacy is 3 words. No, 4 words, sorry. It's into me, you see. Allowing someone to see you, really see you, the parts of you that you don't want anyone to see, the parts of you that you can't even admit to yourself. That's what intimacy really is, showing that to Luke and saying, this is me, all of me, the beautiful, the batshit crazy, and the ugly, the parts of me that I'm afraid
no
of
ugliness.
sharing. Like,
is no
I went
ugliness.
batshit crazy today. Today I was having a psycho day. I was like psycho girlfriend today. But that's letting him see me and accepting me and allowing myself to receive love when I feel like I deserve love the least.
Nice.
So for me, that's intimacy, and obviously having fun and being playful. For me, intimacy is a lot about being playful.
Nice.
Can I add something at the end?
Yeah.
Of course you can, bro. We can just keep going all night.
The day you take sex so seriously is the day your sexuality gonna die. You need to have fucking fun. Yeah, sex is fun. It's not like people that take it too serious, you know,
Yeah.
just too stiff. Have fun, laugh. People are like, oh, when was the last time you laughed while you had sex? It's crazy. Like, laughter is the only medicine that can cure everything. And love, of course, but they're all interrelated.
Yeah.
And laugh, have fun, be silly, be stupid, and don't be too serious. Don't have this face, you know, a lot of guys want to look at the bar shit, what the fuck. Don't do that. Don't be that guy.
The intense soul gazing look.
I mean, you can have intense soul gazing looks, but then if I do it,
soul gaze. If you want to increase intimacy, look into your partner's eyes for 3 minutes and just
or
see
half
them.
an hour,
Or
Ooh.
half an hour, but start off with 3 minutes.
Nice. All right, everyone. Final closing words on sex and intimacy.
Just always start with yourself. Love yourself. If you don't love you, then you have no love to make. So go
like that.
deep inside, cultivate love and respect for yourself, because only then you're able to share it. Only then you're able to make it. That's my final words.
Beautiful.
Ooh, on the spot, I forgot. I was dancing and I was just so present with my body. Something I'm learning, breathing. That helps big time. I didn't realize I don't really breathe until Luke points out to me you're not breathing, but breathe. And also be honest with your partner and yourself. be honest about the parts of you that you don't like. A lot of the times, you know, when you're intimate with someone, because they think they're doing a good job, but they're really not, and you just go on with it just because, you know, he looks like he's having fun, but it's like...
Yes, if you fake noises, by the way, your partner thinks they're doing a great job, and it's never going to get better. No. So you think you're protecting them and being kind to them by making fake noises, but then you're not really enjoying yourself. They're not going to get any better.
Be honest about what's not good.
They think they're a stallion.
You should have an ego and sex. Yeah, because that becomes a part of ego. You want to protect
ego
your lover's
sex,
ego.
Yeah, definitely.
And then you just like, you're gonna... No, your life is too short to pretend you're enjoying sex. If you're thinking you're helping your lover, you're crazy.
If this video gets more than 50 likes, 50 likes, that's 50 people brave enough to like it and show people that they're not scared to talk about sex, then we'll make another video around ego and sex.
Yeah.
That sound like a good deal?
Yeah.
And I'll be really interested to see if anyone is brave enough to share this, because then it's so interesting, isn't it? How people get nervous, their family,
I'm not gonna share.
friends.
I'm gonna get fired. I'm not gonna... this is insane. Like, the moment I need to breathe, because the moment we realize and we truly accept the fact that sex is as natural as sleeping, as eating, as people share that I got drunk, and then people share drinking videos and all that crap, and then, but when it comes to sex, no, how can I
analyze your breathing that much while talking? Love, stop, you're not breathing, lol. Well, that's true. What did you do last night? Is that true?
Anyways, so my closing words. Everyone take a deep breath in and out. I want to make sex a normal conversation. One of the best things that my mum did with us growing up was sex was a very normal conversation. There was no shame around it. There was no guilt around it. It was fun and it was interesting. And if she would catch us masturbating, it was just funny. And when my brother would bring a girl home, he would come down in the morning and my mum would ask, how was it?
Yeah, my mom used to always ask me, hey, if you bring a girl home, do you want me to give you anything? Like, do you want me to serve you banana, eggs? I'm like, Mom, shut up. Yeah. And she used to make me really uncomfortable. She was really open about it. I love her so much for this fact, actually. I'm very blessed.
Yeah.
I feel very blessed and honored because I grew up in a family that sex wasn't like a taboo thing.
Yeah.
And you as well, so that's...
Same, but I made it a taboo thing when I became an adult because I was conditioned by all the other people around me. I kind of retracted. I went backwards. It was really, really interesting. But now I'm with people who are very sexually open and they talk about this stuff freely. It's so much fun. So if you do want to explore yourself sexually...
And if you want to see our penises, like 100 likes.
You don't want to see them. You don't want to see them.
If you want to explore your true sexual nature more, connect with other people who are open.
Nice
I don't care.
Go to workshops, come hang out with us, and we're going to do loads of fun stuff in the new year. You're going to do tantra festivals or something, right? You're going to the tantra festival.
I'm going to next year. I'm actually facilitating in next tantra festival in Sweden, in Ansbacka. I'm super excited for that. But before that, I'm definitely going to have workshops all over London and Europe, and you will be.
I'm going to be talking about sex a lot. It's going to be everywhere. I'm going to be talking about all the different aspects of sex. It's what I'm living right now, and I believe in teaching what I'm living. So it's so important to me, and I want to help you guys to have the kind of sexual awakening that we've had too. Someone says, unfriended. Amazing. We love you loads. Please do unfriend me if you are not open to talking about sex. Dave just liked it 100 times himself, see us.
All right. I'm ready. There we go.
All right, everyone. Have an amazing night. Do one thing today to expand your sex life. Talk to your partner, do some research, read an article, watch a video. Go on YouTube and type in what is Tantra 101. There's so many great YouTube videos out there. Yes. And if I do have a playlist, so if you want me to send you a playlist with some videos in there, then just comment below and I'll just drop it on a message to you. Yes. Beautiful, everyone. See you all soon. Lots and lots of love, and have an amazing holidays. Have loads and loads of awesome sex, and we'll see you all in the new year.
Stretch,
drink water, hydrate.
Stretch, drink water, and make love.
Beautiful. Bye, everyone.
Dance.